Well, hi, hello, my dear students. Welcome to my video lecture class. Right up to now, I uploaded video lectures on the topic kinematics. In this topic, I already uploaded 5 lectures. So, in this 5 lectures, I explained note points of distance and displacement, numericals on distance and displacements, types of velocity, types of speed and average velocity, numericals on average speed and average velocity, graphs, numericals on graphs. These are all I discussed in previous lectures. So please go to the previous lectures for better understanding. Today I am going to start a new topic, that is equations of motion. So how many equations of motion we had? When we have to apply these equations of motion? So these are all things we discussed in this lecture. First of all, if a body moves in a straight line, with constant acceleration, body moves in a straight line with a constant acceleration, then it satisfies 4 equations. Those equations are called equations of motion. So those equations are called equations of motion. First equation, V is equal to U plus AT. Second equation, V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Third equation, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Fourth equation, Sn is equal to U plus A by 2 into 2n minus 1. So these are the 4 equations. Here acceleration is constant. For if acceleration is constant, then only these 4 equations are valid. Acceleration is constant, then only these 4 equations are valid here. So here V is equal to final velocity, U is equal to initial velocity, S is equal to distance covered by body, A is equal to acceleration, okay, A is equal to acceleration. So these are the 4 equations and these are the terms V and U, S and A. Next, if a body moves vertically upward, upwards, and it reaches maximum height. So it reaches maximum height. It reaches maximum height. For example, I'll consider a stone. Stone is projected vertically upward. It reaches maximum height. So whenever we project a stone vertically upward, so whether body moves vertically upward, definitely velocity is decreases gradually. So whenever body projected vertically upward with some velocity, velocity is decreases gradually, and it becomes zero at maximum height, So here body projected with initial velocity u meter per second, and final velocity is 0. Distance traveled is h distance it is going to be traveled here, and for example stone is reached here. So stone is reached here. At this point final velocity is 0, and this distance is we consider as h. This distance is we consider as h here. So now acceleration we want. Acceleration is here. Body projected upwards. If a body projected upwards, definitely acceleration is equal to minus g. Why acceleration is equal to minus g here? That is a question. Question is arises. Why acceleration is equal to minus g? Right. Why acceleration is equal to minus g? Because body projected upwards, acceleration due to gravity is acting downwards. So here body moves against gravity. So acceleration is equal to minus g. So here body moves against gravity because we projected a body vertically upwards. Weight of your body adds downward direction. We projected a body in upward direction. So here body moves against gravity. So acceleration is equal to minus g. So from this first equation, v is equal to u plus at. So from this v is equal to u plus at. Final velocity is 0 at maximum height. At h max, at maximum height, final velocity is 0. U value u only. A value is minus g and t. Then t is equal to u by g. This t is nothing but ta. So this is nothing but time of ascent. So what is meant by time of ascent? Time taken by a body to reach maximum height. Time of ascent Ta is equal to time taken by a body to reach maximum height. Time taken by a body to reach maximum height is called time of ascent. So time of ascent is equal to formula. What we got here? U by g. Time of ascent formula we got u by g from first equation. Next, from second equation. So from second equation. So observe carefully here. What is second equation here? V square minus u square is equal to 2as. Here v is equal to 0, u is equal to u only, a is equal to minus g, s is equal to h. So from this, 0 square minus u square is equal to 2 into minus g into h. So from this, minus u square is equal to minus 2gh. So from this, h is equal to u square by 2g. So height formula, height covered by particle, whether body projected vertically upwards, what is the height covered by particle? H is equal to u square by 2g. H is equal to u square by 2g. Next, from third equation, s is equal to ut plus half at square. So s means h, u into t plus half into minus g into t square. So from this, h is equal to ut minus half gt square. So this is our formula for h. Okay. So now we are going to solve one example problem. See, after solving this example problem, you got a clear idea about this topic. Here acceleration is equal to minus g. While body projected vertically upward, acceleration is equal to minus g, because it is moving against gravity, opposite to the gravity direction. Here body moves opposite to gravitation direction. So a is equal to minus g. Against gravitation is also equal to opposite to gravitation. Next, second case, freely falling body, or drops a body from certain height. Freely falling body drops a body from certain height. For freely falling body, for example, this is a body, this is a freely falls here, it reaches here. Okay, I'll consider as a ball. This ball is going to be freely fall. For freely fall, initial velocity is equal to 0. Whenever one body is freely falling, definitely its initial velocity is equal to 0. If any body is freely falling, initial velocity must be equal to 0. If any body is freely falling, then initial velocity must equal to 0. Initial velocity must equal to 0. So that means here v is equal to u plus at, and one more thing, acceleration is equal to plus g, because direction of gravity and body moves direction both are same. Here body moves direction and direction of gravity both are downward only. That's why here we consider A is equal to G. Right, V is equal to U plus AT here. So from this, V value is, we don't know. So here U value is 0, A value is G, S value is, I consider this distance is H, S value is H. Okay. So from this, V value is V only, U value is 0, and A value is G into T. So from this TD, V is equal to final velocity, V is equal to GT. Final velocity V is equal to GT. And from second equation, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. S is equal to H. U value is 0 into T, because for freely falling body, initial velocity is 0. Here velocity is increases gradually. Here velocity is increases gradually for downward moving body. Velocity is increases gradually for downward moving body. Velocity is decreases gradually for upward moving body. This is very important. Half into acceleration value is g into t square. From this, t square is equal to 2h by g. Then t is equal to root 2h by g. So this is nothing but TD, time of descent. TD means time of descent. What is meant by time of descent? Time taken by a body to reach ground. Time of descent. Time of descent is equal to TD is equal to time taken by body to reach ground. Time taken by a body to reach ground is called time of descent. So we got two formulas here. Final velocity V is equal to GT and TD is equal to root 2h by g. Next third formula. V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Here initial velocity is 0, final velocity V only, A is equal to G, S is equal to H. So I have to do here V square minus 0 square 2GH. So from this V is equal to root 2GH. So V is equal to root 2GH. Final velocity at ground. Final velocity or velocity of a body at ground. Velocity of a body at ground, V is equal to root 2GH. So this is one of the formula. Next, so these are the major formulas we got whether body is freely falling or drops a body from certain height. Here acceleration is equal to g, because body moving direction and gravity direction both are same direction. Okay, gravitational force is always acting downward direction and body is also moving downward direction. So that's why both are having same direction. That's why acceleration is equal to plus g. Okay, right. Next, well, to continuing my lecture on kinematics, equations of motion. So next application, very important application. This is application number 1. This is very important application. Application number 1. If a body projected upwards from the top of tower, projected upwards from the top of tower, body projected upwards from the top of tower of height h meters, time of flight Time of flight is t seconds. Time of flight is t seconds. Okay, for example, so this is a tower. Okay, we projected a stone vertically upwards from the top of tower. It reaches ground. It reaches ground. So this is a ground. So body reaches ground. We projected a stone with velocity u meter per second. Okay, stone is projected vertically upwards from the top of tower with velocity u meter per second. Okay, so here what we need to find? Height of tower, we find by formula. Height of tower is found by formula. Here a main formula is h is equal to, this height of tower is we taken as h. H is equal to minus u into t plus half gt square. In this formula, this is very important formula. By apply this formula, here h is equal to minus h is equal to height of tower. Height of tower. T is equal to time of flight. Time of flight means time of ascent plus time of descent. Okay, that is called time of flight. Okay, so by using this formula, we are easy to find height of tower. We are easy to find time of flight. Okay, so next. So this is very important formula. By using this formula, we are easy to find time of flight and h. So now we discuss a small example. So after completion of this example problem, we will get clear idea about this application number 1. Example 1. If your body projected upwards from the top of tower, body projected upwards from the top of tower with velocity u meter per second, velocity u, that is u is equal to 20 meter per second. Time taken by a body to reach ground, t is equal to 4 seconds. Then find height of tower h, final velocity of your body, or velocity of your body to touch the ground. So we need to find these two values. Okay, so now I'll consider tower. tower or any height. You projected stone from certain height. So this tower height, I'll consider tower height as h. Okay, h. So we projected a stone upwards, it reaches ground. So with the velocity u is equal to 20 meter per second, and time taken to reach the ground already given, t is equal to 4 seconds. Time of ascent plus time of descent, time of flight is given. So now how to find? Apply formula. H is equal to minus ut plus half gt square. We apply this formula, we got height of tower. Here h is equal to height of tower h is equal to minus 20 into t value is 4 plus half into g value is 10. Take g is equal to 10 meter per second square. Take g is equal to 10 meter per second. 10 into here 4 square. From this minus 80. Okay, 2 into 5. 5 into 16. 5 into 16. Okay. If you take 20 into h is equal to, so if I projected stone, g into t value is 2. For example, I consider, please change t value as 1 second. T value as 1 second. Please change t value. Time of flight be 1 second. Small thing change here. Please don't confuse friends here. Simple thing. Initial velocity is 20 meter per second. Time of flight is 1 second. I consider. Okay. So from this minus 20 into 1 plus half into g value is 10 into t value is 1 second. 1 whole square. Okay. So 1 whole square. So from this minus 20 plus 2 how many times? 5 times. 5 into 1. Okay. 5 into 1. 5. So from this we got minus 20 plus 5 minus 15. Minus 15 meters. So here height is always measured in positive. Because this is a distance. Height is nothing but what? Distance. Height is always measured in positive. So height is always measured in positive. Height is always measured in positive. So height of tower h is equal to 15 meters. So we consider 15 meters. Height of tower, what we got now? 15 meters. So height of tower and time of flight we are finding by using this formula. So this formula is very, very important. Whenever problems are asking like this, when a body projected from top of tower, we apply this formula. H is equal to minus ut into ut plus half gt square. Right. Next, what we need to find? Here we need to find height of tower and final velocity of a body to reach the ground. So one part is completed here. Height. Next, what we need to find here? Final velocity. So how to find final velocity here? So by using this formula, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. By using this formula. Here v means final velocity. V square is equal to, u square is moving this side. U square plus 2as. So u square plus a value is g into s value is h. So this is v square. So v is equal to square root of u square plus 2gh. Okay. So whenever a body projected from top of tower, then final velocity formula, v is equal to square root of u square plus 2gh. So from this v is equal to square root of u square means 20 square plus 2 into 10 into h value is 15 already we got here. So from this 20 square means 40, 400, 20, 150 into 2, 300. So root 700. So from this 10 root 7 meter per second. So 10 root 7 meter per second we got from this problem. So final velocity of a body to touch the ground is 10 root 7 meter per second. Okay, 10 root 7 meter per second. So this is application number 1. Next we will discuss application number 2. This is very well. To continuing my lecture on kinematics, application number 2, observe carefully. Application number 2, if 3 stones projected, 3 stones are there, these 3 stones are projected from the top of 3 towers or buildings of same height. This is very important. Of same height. 3 towers same height. First stone is projected upward from the top of tower. So this is a first stone projected upwards from the top of tower. It reaches here with u meter per second, projected upwards. First stone projected upwards. Projected upwards. Projected upwards. Second stone projected downwards. Projected downwards. Projected downwards with velocity u meter per second. Third stone freely falling. Freely falling means initial velocity is 0. Third stone initial velocity is 0 because it is freely falling. So here time taken to reach the ground is t1. In second case time taken to reach the ground is t2. In third case time taken to reach the ground is t3. This is a first case. This is a second case. This is a third case. Okay. Here first stone is projected upwards. So from this first case we apply formula S is equal to H is equal to height of tower, H is equal to minus ut plus half gt square. Here h means h only, height of tower. Here height of tower is h. All towers having height h only. H is equal to minus u into t1 plus half g into t1 square. Okay, g into t1 square. This is equation 1. Equation 1. From second case, stone is projected downwards. That means S is equal to ut plus half at square from this formula. S means distance travelled h, and u value is u only, t value is t2 plus half into body projected downwards means definitely g into t square, t2 square. So this is equation 2. From third case, so from third case, what we got here? So I will take example. Right, from third case, so I have this one. From third case, okay, from third case, freely falling. So that means S is equal to ut plus half at square only formula. So S means h here, u means u only, u means here 0. For third case, initial velocity is what, man? Initial velocity is 0 into t means t3 plus half into g into t3 square. That means h is equal to half g t3 square. So this is equation 3. So like this we got three equations from three cases. Three equations from three cases. So observe carefully here. So first of all, observe this question again. If three stones projected from top of three towers or buildings of same height, three towers having same height, first stone is projected upwards from the top of tower. First stone is projected upwards from the top of tower with initial velocity u meter per second. Second stone is projected downwards with u meter per second. Third stone is freely falling. First stone covered time is t1 to reach the ground. Second stone covered time is t2 to reach ground. Third stone covered time is t3 to reach ground. So now from these three cases we got three equations. We are solving these three equations. We will get relation between t1, t2, t3. So that we need to find here. So what we need to find in this question? Find relation between t1, find relation between t1, t2 and t3 we need to find from this question. So how to find relation between t1, t2 and t3? So simple logic here. So first equation what we got, h is equal to minus u into t1 plus half into g into t1 square. This is first equation. What is second equation? Second equation what we got, h is equal to u into t2 plus half g into t2 square. This is third equation. Next second equation. This is second equation. Okay. Next, h is equal to half g t3 square. So this is third equation. Okay. So this equation for case 1. From case 1 we got. So body projected upwards. Body projected upwards from top of tower. Body projected downwards. Freely falling body. So these are the three cases. From these three equations, we are solving these three equations. We'll get from 1, 2 and 3. From 1, 2 and 3, solving these three equations, we'll get solving these three equations, we'll get T3 is equal to square root of T1 into T2. T3 is equal to square root of T1 into T2 we'll get. So this is a very important application. So I hope you all are understood this application. So whenever problems are given like this application, so we are simply applying relation between T1, T2 and T3 is equal to square root of T1 into T2. So I hope you all are understood this lecture. If you will get any doubt, please mention in comment box. So this is about today's session. Again, I'll come back with new concepts and new formulas. Thank you for watching my lectures. Thank you so much.
Example number 18. So
if a person stands on top of tower of height 25 meters, he project a stone vertically upwards with a velocity 30 meter per second, it reached ground in some 25 seconds. It reaches ground in 25 seconds. So this is first step. Again, he throws a stone. Same stone vertically downwards with the same speed. Same speed means what, ma? Same speed means already projected vertically with some speed. What is this? 30 meter per second. Then projected downwards with same speed means 30 meter per second. So with the same speed, it reached ground in 16 seconds. Again, he drops a ball. He drops or released. He released a ball. He drops or released a same stone. Vertically downwards. Then time taken by the stone to reach the ground is. So this is the problem. So how to find this question? Already I discussed application in previous, that means few minutes back I discussed application. Based upon that application, it is easy to solve. So don't panic, students. This question is very big, but it is solved within 5 seconds. Within 5 seconds, it is easy to solve. Why? We know application already. So easily applying application, we got answer. So that is the beautiful thing in physics. If you know the concept, if you know the application, so it is easy to solve any question. So for example, if you see this question, it is a very lengthy question while we see. But whether we calculating answer for this question, it is very easy. Within 1 minute only, I solve this question. So I apply simple shortcuts. Already we know application. I discussed it a few minutes back application. I apply that application. We got answer for this question easy. Right? What is given? Tower is there. So one stone is projected vertically upwards. It reached ground. Projected vertically upwards, it reached ground in T1 seconds. Projected vertically upwards, it reached ground in T1 seconds. So that T1 seconds is equal to, T1 is equal to what, ma? So projected T1 seconds is equal to 25 seconds. T1 is equal to 25 seconds. With speed is what? With initial velocity, U is equal to 30. U is equal to 30 meter per second. Next, second stone second stone. So second stone is thrown vertically downwards with the same speed, 30 meter per second only. With the same speed, 30 meter per second only. 30 meter per second only. But it takes time. I'll consider this is T2. T2 is already given. So it reached ground in 25 seconds, first stone. Second stone throws same stone vertically downwards with the same speed. 30 meter per second. It reached ground in 16 seconds. So that means T2 is equal to what they given? Time taken for second stone is 16 seconds. Observe carefully, ma. First stone is projected upwards from the top of tower. Second stone is projected vertically downwards with some velocity. That too same speed. Next, third stone. So here third one is same stone we are using. Now it is freely falling. Third one is freely falling. So it is freely falling. Third stone is freely falling and it reaches ground. Third one is freely falling. It reaches ground. So freely fall or drops. Then we consider initial velocity is 0 meter per second and it covered distance is t seconds. Then relation between T1, T2, T. One body is projected vertically upward from the top of tower. One body is projected vertically downwards with some speed, the two same speed. Another body is freely falling. The relation between T and T1 and T2 is already we discussed application. That is solution for this one is T is equal to root T1 T2. If you know T1 T2 values, it is easy to find. What is the T1 value? 25 seconds into T2 value 16 seconds. So 25 into 16. What we got? 25 for 25 root 5. So for root 25 value 5. Root 16 value 4. Then what we got here? 5 into 4, that is equal to 20. So time taken for the stone, whether it is freely falling, it reaches ground in time 20 seconds. If first stone is projected vertically upwards, it covered time is 25 seconds. Second stone is thrown with some speed, same speed, with the time is 16 seconds. And third stone is covered time for freely falling, it covered time is 20 seconds. So 20 seconds is answer for this question. So like this, if any question is given, projected vertically upwards, projected vertically downwards with some speed, freely falling, like these three relations, time relations, T is equal to root T1 into T2. Simply applying this formula, you got answer easily. So I hope you are all enjoying this lecture. So solve based upon we had materials are there, reference materials are there. So take any reference material. So once you go through it, if any question is based upon this application is there, so try to solve that question. So if you had any doubt, please mention in comment box. I'll explain in further lectures. I hope you are all understood this lecture. Thank you so much.